Hey all, it's Nick here, and good to be back, I guess. Um, I like I said, I've just been really busy lately. I've been working like 9 days out of 10 at work, or I should say 8 days a week, because I like that. Um, but I thought I'd do something a little different today. Something I haven't done before. I saw Ben Shapiro do something like this a while back, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to do the same thing. Now, a friend of mine from Latin America asked me to do this like a little forum for him. Well, I know he's. Oh, I can't. Why doesn't it show the whole thing? Why? It's not showing all the screen here. I don't know why. It's weird. Um, that is weird. Why isn't it? OBS is a piece of crap sometimes. We'll do that. Okay, that'll work, I guess. Okay, so I know that means and. I don't know what else anything else means. By the way, let me Oh, it says my mouse cursor is being captured. I don't see it though. Well, anyways, yeah, this is gonna be a long ass questionnaire. I'm gonna do it, and let's see. Some education level, high school. I wanted to go to college. I just never thought I would do well there, so I never went. How long have you had an account for the on the virtual platform Facebook? Probably. I want to say around. Oops, around 10 plus years. How many hours a day do you enter the virtual Facebook platform? Honestly, I'm not on there a whole lot anymore. Like, someone sends me a request, I'll accept it. Again, if they send me a message saying how they know me, because I've had so many spam bots. How many? So I'm gonna say like one, because I really don't think I do that. Would you say that your account represents you? I'm gonna say no, even though that may not be 100% the case, because um, I am because I mean my Facebook's my personal account. I mean that's like if people want to get involved with politics and stuff like that. Um, so okay, I agree to be part of the study. Well, I already told him I'd do it. So this is I'll admit this is a little confusing, like a little bit of constructive criticism for him. Usually it's 1 to 4 as far as strongly disagree to strongly agree, but here it's the opposite. And there's an even bigger reason why this is a problem later, but we'll get to that. So, but no, in this case, it's 4 means strongly disagree, and 1 is strongly agree. So, um, let's do this. Now, of course, my friend's English isn't perfect, so some of the questions might sound a little weird, so I'm just going to answer them the way I'm just going to interpret it my own way, and because he said like you just answer it any way it wants, fine. Um, so sometimes I avoid asking questions for fear of looking bad in front of others. Uh, I'm gonna say 3 on that. I mean, sometimes that's the case. When I was in the DigiPen class, I never asked the teacher for help or anything because I was too afraid. Which is one of my hugest regrets. I wish I asked him for more help. Nowadays, I do. I mean, I still got some work to do, but usually, like at my work, if I need help with something or whatever, I almost always call the boss because it's my job and my ass is on the line. So, is it difficult for me to call shops, offices, etc.? I mean, I got just a slight bit of shyness, but not too much. Oh, see, you press the arrow keys to move the answer too. I'm trying to use it to scroll down. Um, if I assume he meant to put a slash here. If slash when I get home, I find a defect, if I find a defect in something I have checked, I go to the store to return it. Well, of course I would. Um, well, actually, that's not true. There's a couple times where I've gotten some that wasn't 100% described, and I've just said, "Screw it, didn't cost me that much." If it cost me a lot of money, if it said like if I and I spent a lot of money on it, I would have put one because of course I would. Um, when someone who came after me in a store gets attention first, I shut up. I don't quite know what this means. Um, I don't know. I don't know what he meant by this. And normally I'd send him a message like, "Hey, what do you mean by this question?" But there's a shit ton of questions on here, and I don't think he's got time to answer all my questions about this questionnaire thing. So I'm just gonna interpret it my way. So someone who came after me in a store. gets attention first. I guess like if they get served, like let's say if I go to a restaurant and I was in there first, but another guy comes in like 5 minutes later, and then the server goes to him. Um, then I'm gonna say yeah. I don't really care too much. It depends on times of the essence kind of thing. I mean, if I'm like a day, if it's like a day off, I don't usually give a crap. Um, if a salesperson insists on showing me a product that I don't want at all, I have a hard time saying no. Well, that's not true. I'm not going to spend money on something that I don't want. You know, just reading that again just to make sure that it is what I thought it was. Mm, well, I have to. Okay, sometimes it's difficult for me to ask for something I borrowed back. Strongly disagree on that because I never let people borrow my stuff. Actually, in my experience, it just hasn't turned out well for me. So, anyways, if a restaurant does not, and here's another question about the forms. Sometimes it goes 1 through 4, and then other times it goes 4 through 1. I don't know what's with that. Anyways, if a restaurant does not bring me the food as I had ordered, I call the waiter and ask that they do it again. Yes, I actually had this experience a while back, a week or two ago. I went to IHOP and I asked for boysenberry sauce, which of course they didn't have because this specific IHOP sucks ass. And I asked them for blueberry. So the waitress gives me normal syrup, and it's like that's not what I wanted. I mean, it was brown liquid. I'm pretty sure it's not blueberry syrup. So yeah, I'm gonna say strongly agree on that. Sometimes I don't know what to say to attract people of the opposite sex. Are you kidding? I never know what the fuck to say. So strongly agree on that. Many times when I have to give a compliment, I don't know what to say. That's mostly true. Because, I'm always scared of saying the wrong thing and pissing someone off or scaring them or whatever. I tend to keep my opinions to myself. I'm going to say 3 on that because on my Facebook, I share my spiritual and political views. Okay. I mean, it's no question to people on YouTube. I've said it many times before. I'm a conservative Christian, so which is weird because I'm from Seattle, which means I shouldn't be, but I am. Anyways, sometimes I avoid social gatherings for fear of doing or saying something wrong. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's mostly true. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say 2 though. It's not like there are times I'm more confident about myself, about that sort of thing. If I am at the cinema and someone bothers me with their conversation, I'm very anxious to ask them to shut up. No, I would not do that. Um, Unless maybe they were like Elaine in the Pez dispenser episode of Seinfeld, but and besides, I almost never go to the movies. I probably went to the movies like 5 times in my life. Everything's too fucking expensive there. It's easier to just wait for the movie to come out and then buy it, and then you could watch it and have popcorn for a lot cheaper and food for a lot cheaper and watch it in the comfort of your own home. Just seeing on the big screen just doesn't do it for me. Anyways, the cons outweigh the pros. Let's just say. Anyways, so when a friend, that's not to say I wouldn't go though. Like if someone invited me, I'd probably go. Anyways, okay, when a friend expresses an opinion which I strongly disagree, I prefer to keep quiet until I'm willing to express what I think. It doesn't really make sense. I prefer to keep quiet. I mean, I assume he's talking. I'm gonna interpret this. So I think he's saying I let them finish before I interrupt with my disagreements. Yeah, of course, that's the polite thing to do. Is let them finish, and then you bring your ideas to the table, and hopefully they let you finish. But not likely. When I'm in a hurry and a friend calls me on the phone, I have a hard time cutting her off. Well, I actually don't have a girlfriend, so I'm a big surprise, right? Um, let's see. No, I don't have a hard time cutting. I would say, hey, I got to go to work or something or whatever. So it's usually the only time I'm in a hurry. Because last time I was in a hurry off the clock, I got into an accident. So I don't do that anymore. Anyways, there are certain things that I don't like to lend, but if they ask me, I don't know how to refuse. That's not true. I'm going to say 3, though, because there's probably been a few times. Anyways, if I leave a store and I realize that I have been given the wrong change, I return to ask for the correct change. I'm gonna do 2. Three, right? Four strongly agree. I need to remember higher the number, the the more you agree. Okay. It depends how much change. Like if it's only a few cents, I don't care. If it's a few dollars or something, then there might be a problem there. Anyways, I find it difficult to compliment someone I like. Yeah, I'd say that's true, but I'll do it every now and then. If I see an attractive person of the opposite sex at a party, I take the initiative to go over and start a conversation with her. Strongly disagree. I don't go to parties, and even if I did, I don't have the guts to say anything. I find it difficult to express my feelings to others. Oh, that is so true. That is so true. Um, Better for me to bottle it up inside and not tell anyone, because everyone's got their own problems to deal with. Um, if I had to look for work, I would rather write letters than have to go through personal interviews. I don't care. I mean, interviews. I mean, that's the standard. As far as I'm concerned, that's the de facto. That's the standard way of doing it in the U.S. So I'm going to strongly disagree with that because I'm actually not the best at. I'm better at presenting myself in person than through writing. And I think most people, at least in the U.S., feel that way. I can't speak for anyone, of course, and I said I think because I'm not 100% sure. By the way, you guys want to get some music in here? Let's get some music. Some like MS-DOS music, which probably doesn't utilize the best instrumentation, but I like the composition. So, hey. Anyways, you know what? No, that kind of ruins it. It just, I don't know. That just doesn't. I think I should do this without music. I am unable to bargain or ask for a discount when buying something. Strongly agree. I just, well, I mean, if it's a retail store, no shit, I'm not going to ask for um, discount or anything. It's just not a, unless he's talking about like if you have coupons or something. But I doesn't mention that, so I'm going to assume no. When a close relative bothers me, I prefer to hide my feelings rather than express my anger. Strongly disagree because I never get to see my relatives. Anyways, I find it difficult to cut off a friend who talks a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna say mostly agree with that. When I decide that I don't feel like going out with someone again, I have a hard time communicating my decision. Strongly disagree. Again, only had one date and it didn't last long, so I don't know what that's like. If a friend to whom I have lent a certain amount of money seems to have forgotten, I remind him. Well, of course I would. Yeah, strongly agree. I mean, I don't. Again, the only person I've lent money to is my father. Um, I lent it to my sister once too, but she never paid me back. So, anyways, I often have a hard time asking a friend to do me a favor. And I'm gonna say slightly disagree. I am unable to ask someone for a date. Strongly agree. No question about that one. Okay, it's probably the easiest one I've done so far. I feel embarrassed when someone of the opposite sex tell me they like something about my physique. Well, of course I would. Yeah, because I'm not used to being told that. I'm actually told by some that I look like a drug dealer and I look like the love child of Steve Howe and Mick Fleetwood, but that's a different story. I find it difficult to express my opinion in groups, in class, and meetings, etc. Too, because I'm in a band and I'm at work, so sometimes I feel like my opinion doesn't matter in both those situations, but no, I wouldn't say it's hard for me to talk about something. When someone sneak, excuse me, when something gets to the wrong part of your throat, I hate that. Anyways, when someone sneaks, quote unquote, into me in line, I pretend I don't notice. I think he meant to say when someone sneaks in front of me in line, but I pretend I don't notice. Yeah, I can't remember a single it's rarely ever happened to me. I think it's happened like less than 5 times. Let's say someone's cut in front of me in line, and every time they do, I just don't say anything. I should, I know, but I'm too benevolent of a person. That's my greatest weakness, I'd say, is I'm way too nice of a person. Anyways, I have a hard time expressing aggressiveness or anger towards the other sex, even if I have justified reasons. I'm going to slightly disagree with that because I've never had to argue with a woman besides my mother and my sister, so yeah. Many times I prefer to give in, shut up, or quote unquote get out of the way to avoid problems with other people. Strongly agree, but I am getting better, so if there was a 3.5 option, I would be choosing that. Um, there are times when I don't know how to refuse to go out with someone I don't feel like going out with, but who calls me several times. No, because I've never been asked out. So, yeah, fuck me, right? Anyways, okay, BFQ. Below you'll find serious phrases about ways about thinking. So, okay, so this is one of my other criticism about my friend's form. Again, constructive criticism. I don't want to like sound like a jerk or anything, but here now it's see, that's the thing. I just answered all these questions freaking wrong because I kept thinking that four was strongly agree and one was disagree. Oh my god. Let me skim through this really quick. Um, let's see. Yeah, avoid asking questions for your looking bad in front of others. Yeah, I'd say that's. Mm, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna pretend. I mean, I already told everyone what I think of these questions, so even if I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, whatever. You guys know how I feel. And like I said, it's not gonna be on the record, so whatever. But yeah, so here it's the five is strongly agree and one is strongly disagree. So now he's reversed it. So that's a little aggravating. So now I'm probably going to answer even more of these questions wrong, but I'm going to do my best. Anyways, um, I believe that I'm an active and vigorous person. Well, that's just plain wrong. I mean, a little bit. Sometimes I'll go out and do something, but I don't really. I'm not like a, especially during this COVID bullshit. You know, I don't really get out much. Anyways, I don't like to do things by reasoning too much about them. I don't quite get what that means. I like to do things right. Like, is that? I'm gonna assume, like, again, just interpret it. Like, if I was like, should I do this or should I do that? You know? Mm, I'm gonna agree because it's like, oh, I hate having to try making a decision like that. I tend to get too involved when somebody tells me about their problems. No, not really. I mean, I don't pry. People tell me what they want about their problems, and that's it. Um, I'll say two, because in rare occasions I'll want to know more, if they're okay with it. Of course, I don't. Again, I don't pry. Um, I'm not particularly concerned about the consequences that my actions may have on others. Strongly disagree. I actually do. I'm gonna say two only because like if it's somebody who's being an asshole to me or something, and if I, because for me, respect's a two-way street. Of course, I try to be professional about it, but still, excuse me. I'm always informed about what is happening in the world. Well, when you live in, I don't know what it's like living in Latin America, but living in America, or North America, politics are everywhere, so you're pretty much always up to date. Anyways, I've never told a lie. Well, unless you're Jesus Christ, I think that's a pretty impossible thing to say no to. Otherwise, I think you should run for office. Anyways, I don't like activities that require you to work hard to push yourself to exhaustion. I don't mind it. Depends on what it is, so I'm going to say three. I tend to be very thoughtful. Yes. And everyone can attest to that. I usually don't feel tense. Bull crap, I'm tense all the time. I easily notice when people need my help. I mean, sometimes, like this happened a few days ago. This one lady, I was putting groceries in my car, and I put the cart away, and I'm walking back to my car, and this lady who's parked next to me asked me to, help her put this whole thing of water in her car because she had back problems or something. So I did that. I guess I didn't really notice it though. She asked me, but still, nice little anecdote to recount. I can't easily remember phone numbers that are long. I can if I put my mind to it, but I'm gonna say two just in case, because yeah, there's some that I don't bother memorizing. I've always been in complete agreement with others. Bull crap. Usually I try not to be confrontational, so I'll put 2, but I'm not just gonna blindly believe what someone says or agree with someone says. Generally, I tend to impose myself on other people rather than condescend to them. I'll admit, I don't quite know what that means, so I'm just gonna put 3. Faced with great obstacles, it is not advisable to strive to achieve your own objectives. Eh, I don't really believe that. I think with you know, the American dream is hard work and then getting your goal. So I'm just gonna say no. I'm rather touchy. I don't know what he means by touchy per se, because there's a few different ways that word can be used. So I'm gonna say 1, because I think in most ways I'm not touchy. Maybe in like 1 or 2 ways, but not more than that, if anything. It's not necessary to behave cordially to everyone. Bullcrap. My attitude is, I mean, I know I swear sometimes on my video stuff, but other than that, it's act professional, whether you're off the clock or off the clock. Every 24 hours a day, always be professional. That's how I do it, anyways. There are times where I will make exceptions, but it's rare. Anyways, I'm not very attracted to new and unexpected situations. Well, who is? But I'm gonna say 2 because, I mean, things are changing all the time, like where I live and with politics and everything. So, anyways, I've always solved all the problems I've encountered immediately. Well, that's just wrong. No. Um, and again, it depends what the problem is. He's not being specific. I'm going to put 2 because there's a few that I can take care of pretty easily, but depends on what it is. I do not like work environments in which there's a lot of competition. Well, yeah, pretty much. I carry out the decisions I've made. 4, I mean, there are a few times where I haven't done it. And also, I was going to say too. See here, the form. See, it's always 1, 2, like 5's at the top, 1's at the bottom. I don't know why with the other one, the other part of the form, it was like both ways. Anyways, just a little more criticism. It's not easy for me. It's not easy for something or someone to make me lose patience. Um, 4 because I can, but like I'm very good at keeping it inside. I'm very good at making it look like I'm not annoyed or something, when really inside I'm losing my shit. I like to mix with people. No. I'm kind of a anti-socialite. Everything new makes me excited. Bull crap. If this were the 80s or the 90s, I might probably change my mind on that, but I've never been scared of danger even when serious. Not true. I mean, at work I've had some situations, so it's like, but I'm usually courageous about it, so to speak. It's like when I'm at work, it's my job, and that's kind of carried over into my free time when I'm not working. I tend to decide quickly. No, I usually think it through before I carry it out. Before taking any initiative, I take time to assess the possible consequences. Most of the time, yeah. Sometimes I act and don't think about it, but usually I do. 90% of the time, I'd say. I don't think I'm an anxious person. Bullcrap. I don't usually know how to deal with the misfortunes of my friends. 3. I mean, just talking to them, sometimes is enough to help them. I have a very good memory. Um, yes. Yes, I do, actually. I have a very good memory. Thanks to all those guitar tab books I've been, like, reading and stuff. I've always been absolutely sure of all my actions. Not true. I'm going to say 3 because half the time, yeah, and the other half, no. In my work, I do not attach special importance to performing better than others. Yeah, it's mostly true, but I do believe in like doing the best that you can, and my work I think has noticed that. I hope they have. Anyways, I don't like to live in a way that is too methodical and orderly. I guess you don't quite get what he's saying there, so I don't get where he's going with that one. So I'm just gonna say 3. I feel vulnerable to criticism from others. A little bit, but I've also realized that criticism is necessary, and it's something that helps us get better as human beings. If necessary, I have no problem helping a stranger. Yeah, it's not a problem. Well, there was one time, this probably happened like a few months ago, where I was at a gas station. It was late at night, and this couple came up to me and asked me to help, like if I could drive my car around to this dark area, and like where there's no camera or anything, like around the street, and to help them jumpstart their car. And I'm sorry, it was late at night, so I wasn't going to take a chance. Anyways, I'm not attracted to constantly changing situations. Yeah, for the most, well, screw it. That's true. I've never disobeyed orders received, not even as a child. That's bullcrap. I do not like those activities in which it is necessary to go from one place to another and move continuously. I'm gonna say three because my last job. Actually, I'm gonna strongly disagree because my whole job, my this job I'm working now and my last job were pretty much me moving from one place to another and then going back to the original place or whatever. So yeah, it's not a huge. If it's a job, anyways. So I'm actually gonna say three because off the clock that would be true. On the clock, it's not a problem. I mean, they're paying me to do it, so I don't care. I do not believe that it is necessary to exert oneself beyond the limits of one's own strength, even if there is a deadline to meet. Um, for the most part, yeah. I mean, I would say five, but there's some situations where people are lazy and they'll wait till the last second. And I'll admit, sometimes I am that kind of person. Not at work, but off the clock. I'm willing to do my best to stand out. Starting to be tired. On the clock, yes. Off the clock, no. Let's just say that. I'll put four. I think that's a little more fair of an answer. If I have to criticize others, I do it, especially when they deserve it. Mm, sometimes. Sometimes I do, yeah. My problem, though, is I was growing up not to defend myself, so. But I've been working on myself lately, and I think I'm doing better. So I'm going to say at least three on that, maybe four. But, like, only when it's necessary, pretty much, so. Um, I almost want to put four on that, actually. In fact, screw it. I'm going to say four. I believe that there are no totally valid and eternal values and customs. Not true. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. In dealing with the problem, it is not effective to have many different points of view in mind. It could be advantageous and disadvantageous, so I'm going to put three. In general, I do not get irritated even in situations where I would have a good reason to do so. Uh, Three. I'm gonna put four because I'm good at hiding it. So, if I'm wrong, it's always easy for me to admit it. Yes, as I've said before, I'm a pussy, but at least I can admit to being one. 99% of others who are pussies don't admit that. Anyways, when I get angry and manifest my bad mood, I assume that means like I take it out on something physically. Um, I'm gonna say next to no, because like I said, I rarely get angry, and when I do, I usually hide it. Usually good at hiding it. I carry out what I have decided, even if it involves an unforeseen effort. Well, it's not what they asked earlier. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what he's saying. Okay, it's kind of different. I'll say, yeah, pretty much. It's like, hey, I said I was gonna do it, so I'm committing myself. Um, Unless I find out it's a really bad idea, which is why I put four. Anyways, I don't waste time learning things that are not strictly related to my field of interests. Well, like at work, I learn how to use the systems more efficiently and stuff, so I'm going to say four on that, actually. I almost know how to adjust to the demands of others. Three. Sometimes yes, other times not. Oops. I carry out the tasks undertaken, even if the initial results seem negative. Um, Three, I don't quite get what he means by that. I don't usually feel lonely and sad. Well, that's just plain wrong. I mean, I think people could tell just the way I talk. Anyways, I do not like to do several things at the same time. Three. I mean, I've always multitasked, so and I'm used to doing it at work, whether it's this job or my last job. So, not a big deal. Of course, it depends on how many things I'm multitasking, but still. I usually show a cordial attitude even with people who provoke me in a certain antipathy. Antipathy? I've never heard that one before, but Yeah. Again, be professional. For the most part, anyways. I'm often completely absorbed in my commitments and activities. Well, I wouldn't say so. No, that's not true. Um, Let me see. How close are we to finish? Oh gosh, we still got a ways to go. I think there's like 130 questions, so I'm trying to get through them quickly too. When something hinders my projects, I do not insist on achieving them, and I try others. I mean, usually I get motivated, but I'll come back to it later, so I'll put three. I'm not interested in television programs that require effort and involvement. Well, isn't that what like kids shows are? So I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, unless you're talking about a game show. Let's say it's like a game show and you're trying to figure out the question or whatever yourself or whatever. So I'll say three. I'm a person who is always looking for new experiences. I mean, I don't mind it, I guess. Clutter bothers me a lot. Yes. I don't tend to react impulsively. Mostly true. I always find good arguments to support my proposals and convince others of their validity. No, I'm not. I think there's some people who are good at debating, and there's others who aren't. I am not one of those people who's good at debating. You want to debate, talk to Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson, but not me. I like to be well informed, even on subjects outside my field of competence. Well, of course, I want to know what's going on with everything. If I don't give much importance to demonstrating my abilities. I mean, I guess again, I'm interpreting it. I'm gonna take it as he's saying I don't really think my abilities, like my music playing, for example, I don't really show it off, or I try not to flaunt it, so to speak. I just do it, you know. Anyways, my mood goes through frequent ups and downs. Oh gosh, yeah. I think that's everyone in America right now, maybe even the world. Sometimes I get angry about minor things. No, but it has happened before. It's very rare, but it's happened. I don't easily make a loan, not even to people I know well. Yep, that's pretty much true. Um, Only person I will lend money to that I can completely trust is my own father. And even then, he's only asked like once or twice in his lifetime, so yeah, it's not a big deal. In fact, I owe him money, and he's kind of the same way. I think that's where I adapted from, is from my own father. I don't like being in large groups. Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, at work, if it's necessary, I mean, it's work, so I don't mind it. But outside of that, like when I'm not working. See, like, that's the thing, too. I wish he was a little more specific. Like, is this during work situations or free time situations or both? Or, I mean, well, I would, I mean, I don't know. Wish he was more specific. Anyways, I don't usually plan my life even in the smallest details. Eh, kind of. I've never been interested in the life and customs of other people. Not true. I'm into European and Japanese culture, or English and Japanese culture, I should say, in particular. So, actually, I'm going to say one. It's bullcrap. I do not hesitate to say what I think. Three. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I often feel restless. No, four, I'm going to say. I guess I'm skimming through these, aren't I? In general, it is not advisable to be sensitive to the problems of others. That's not quite true, but there's some people who are trying to get attention. So, yeah. In meetings, I'm not particularly concerned with attracting attention. Yeah, I don't care if they don't ever talk to me. I believe that every problem can be solved in various ways. I wouldn't say every problem, but I'd say probably most problems have more than one solution to them. I mean, that's the thing with politics, too. I mean, one people think that there's one solution, other people think there's another. So I'm going to say four. There's probably a few where only one thing can actually be done, but again, he's not too specific. If I think I'm right, try to convince others, even if it costs me time and energy. Sometimes, but not all the time. Normally, I tend not to trust my neighbor too much. Well, I'm going to say three because I don't even know my neighbors, and I've lived here for like several years. I hardly give up an activity that I have started. Again, I don't quite get what he means. I guess like if I play guitar or something. So I'm going to say five. I don't usually lose my cool. That's true. I'm good at hiding it. I don't spend a lot of time reading. I'm going to assume music books count because there are lyrics in there, and lyrics are, in fact, words. So, yeah, I read a lot of music books. I know, I'm kind of interesting that way, aren't I? I don't normally engage conversation with occasional travel companions. Well, I've never had a travel companion, so that's an easy one. Um, Sometimes I am so scrupulous that I can be tiresome. Um, I don't know what that means actually. So, I've heard the word, I just don't know what it means, so let me look it up. Okay, someone who basically is paying attention to everything. Not really. Um, well, I'm gonna say three because at my job I have to be like that. I have to pay attention to everything. Um, I have always been totally disinterested. Depends on what it is. Again, no specifics are given, so I'm just gonna say three. I have no difficulty controlling my feelings. Again, three because it depends. Like if it's I'm good at hiding my feelings. Um, I can't really help the way I feel. I'm gonna put two actually. I've never been a perfectionist. Nope, because I realize as a human and especially as a Christian man of God, you're going to screw up. It's guaranteed. So, but that's not to say that I try to do my best. But yeah, various circumstances I have behaved impulsively. Uh, Probably once or twice. I don't know exact. I can't exactly remember a time when that happened, but I'm sure it's happened like at least once or twice in my life. I've never argued or fought with another person. Well, that's just bullshit. I have. You post your politics on Facebook and then everyone just has a problem with it, right? It is useless to be totally committed to something because perfection is never achieved. Well, that's bullshit. And if you believe that, you need a good knock on the noggin. Or maybe you already have been knocked on the noggin. Never mind. Anyways, I highly regard the point of view of my colleagues. Eh, I mean, depends on what it is. There's some of my coworkers are really smart, intelligent people, and others not so much. But yeah, I don't know. I've always been passionate about science. Nope. Bill Nye the Science Guy didn't help after I found out what an asshole he was. But anyways, it's easy for me to confide in others. And no, say no, because I don't usually trust people. I don't even trust myself. I don't usually overreact even to strong emotions. Mm, three. I don't think knowing history is of much use. Well, that's bullshit because most people, but I think most people would put five on that because there's some people in this world who clearly haven't learned from history, and as a result, the human race is pretty much doomed. I don't usually react to provocations. Depends on what the situation is. I'm gonna put three. Everything I do is perfect, always. That's bullshit. I believe that all people have something good. For the most part, yeah, I agree with that. I find it easy to talk to people I don't know. No, that is not true. I don't think there's any possibility of convincing someone when they don't think like us. Yeah, I actually do agree with that. I think most people are set in their ways with politics, but I'm going to put four because there are very rare exceptions. But do I personally think I can convince someone? No, because I'm not good at debating stuff, and I'm not good at convincing people of things. If I fail at something, I try again until I succeed. Again, depends on the situation. I'm going to put three. I have always been fascinated by cultures that are very different from my own. Well, yes. Like for instance, especially like getting the DNA test recently, you know, I've been interested in more European culture, and my friend who made the survey, I've been more interested in like wanting to learn Spanish and stuff. So yeah, that's I always like that, and there's a few like European people at my work. Yeah, it's always cool talking to them, thinking like, wow, my ancestors came from like some of these countries. It's pretty cool. So in a way, it almost feels like I'm talking to like an ancestor or something. It's pretty cool. I often feel nervous. Yeah, of course I am. I'm not a talkative person. If there was a 10, I would put that. 100, it's not very worthwhile to adjust to the demands of colleagues when this implies a decrease in one. So, base of work. It depends on what the situation is. I'm going to put 3. I've always understood immediately everything I have read. No, there's sometimes I have to read things few times to make sure I know what they're saying. The survey's one of them. Oh, okay, that was kind of jerky. I'm sorry. I'm always sure of myself. Nope. I mean, at work, yes, I am, but and off the clock, no. I don't understand what pushes people to behave differently from the norm. I mean, I can't go into everyone's personal life as to why they act the way they do or think the way they do or whatever, but, some people, um, they'll tell me, or, just from experience, you kind of draw conclusions as long as you don't act them out, or, I guess, I don't know, hard to explain. It's not even jumping to conclusions, it's, again, can't explain it. It bothers me a lot to be interrupted while doing something that interests me. Well, of course it would. I really like to watch cultural or scientific information programs. Nope. Before submitting a job, I spend a lot of time reviewing it. You mean like a job application? I'm going to say, yeah. I, um, even though I've only applied for 2 different jobs. Well, I've applied for several jobs. I only got 2 different jobs. Oh, I got sorry. I did get much sleep. Anyways, if something does not develop as soon as I want it, I do not insist too much. Yeah, I guess. I mean, again, depending on the situation. If necessary, I do not hesitate to tell others to get into their business. You need to get to work? What, band rehearsal? I guess that could be kind of true if we're screwing around a bit. I don't know. So I put 3 because I wasn't sure. Too bad there wasn't a not sure option here. I think that would be pretty good. If any action of mine can displease someone, surely I will stop doing it. It depends on the situation again, but for this one, I'm just gonna say, like, if it's a neutral situation, then yeah, I would usually, well, I'll put 4 just in case, but yeah. When a job is finished, I don't go over it in its smallest details. I guess. I'm convinced that better results are obtained cooperating with others than competing. Yes. Oh yeah, strongly agree. Again, if there was a 10, I would do that. I would select that. I prefer reading to practicing some sporting activity. I guess. I'm not a sports guy. I don't like sports. I'm sorry. I know that people can't stand that about me, but it's true. Anyways, I have never criticized another person. Bullshit. But I don't do it much. But again, it depends on the situation. I approach all my activities and experiences with great enthusiasm. I mean, if it's music, yeah. And my job, yeah, I mean, I try to be enthusiastic about it. There are some days I don't want to be at work, but that's everybody, so I'll say 4. I'm only satisfied when I see the results of what I had programmed. Well, I can't program anything, so I'm going to say 1. And even if, like, again, I don't quite get what he means, but if it was like another situation, again, it depends on the situation. If he means like just like an expected or something, not necessarily. I'm just gonna say 1 on that though. Let's put 3 just in case. Good, because some of these questions, a lot of these questions actually are kind of vague. When I'm criticized, I cannot help but demand explanations. Well, yeah. I mean, I want to know why what's going on. I mean, you can't just say I suck and not tell me why without looking like a dumbass. Anyways, you don't get anything in life without being competitive. It depends on the situation. And I would explain what all these, depending on the situation, things are, but this video is long enough as is. I always try to see things from different perspectives. Let me just check. Okay, I'm almost done here. Yeah, of course. I mean, I try to understand why people think the way they do politically and religiously and stuff, so yeah. Even in very difficult situations, I don't lose control. I'd say that's mostly true. At work, this would be a 5. Outside of work, I'd say 4 would be more appropriate. So I'd say 4.5, but I'm just going to put 4. Sometimes even small difficulties can worry me. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, just because I'm always fearful things are going to turn out worse than they will or whatever. I generally do not behave openly with strangers. I don't know what that means. Like tell them about my personal life. I guess yeah, that's true. If that's what he means. I do not usually change my mood abruptly. Mostly agree. There's a couple exceptions, a couple few exceptions. I don't like activities that involve risk. Well, I've never played that board game, so I'm gonna put one. No, I'm gonna put three. Again, it depends on the situation. I've never had much interest in scientific or philosophical subjects. Yep. When I start to do something, I never know if I will finish it. Again, depends on the situation. I generally trust others with their intentions. No. I mean, if it's like a coworker or something, yeah, like my boss or something, yeah, I trust them. But I think they just mean in general. I think again, he's very vague with these questions. I've always shown sympathy for everyone I've met. Depends on the situation. With certain people, it is not necessary to be too tolerant. Depends on the situation. I tend to take care of all things down to the smallest details. And again, it depends on the situation. God, I'm basically skimming through these now. It's not by working in a group that you can better develop your own abilities. Depends on the situation. Although I'm gonna say slightly disagree. I think teamwork can actually lead you to being better at things, but there's probably a few exceptions. Is that what it said, right? Working in a group, so it doesn't say working competitively. I don't usually look for new solutions to problems for which there's already an effective solution. For the most part, yeah. I don't think it is useful to waste time. As I don't think it is useful to waste time going over the work done several times. Um, for the most part, that's true. And submit. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Took us like about 50 minutes. View score, yeah. Did I win something? Oh, you liar! As they say in Fargo, you're a fucking liar. Anyways, okay. Well, this was an interesting thing to do, and hopefully it helps my friend out. I don't think he's the FBI, so it's okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I do have a video about some both minor and major updates coming. Again, sorry I haven't been online. I actually did fall ill a while back. I didn't get COVID. Don't worry, it was just a cold. But man, did I feel miserable for a few days. I'm fully recovered now. I mean, that was several weeks ago. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all later. God bless, and peace out. Have a good one.